Your mother who is in heaven sent this through Michael. She's been trying to reach you for hours. Your mother, the one who gave you life and carried you close to her heart, even now in heaven, has not stopped loving you for a single moment. She's been with the Lord, bathed in light, surrounded by peace that words on this side of eternity cannot begin to explain, yet her heart still beats in rhythm with yours. Through the Archangel Michael, the messenger of divine urgency, she has been trying to reach you, not with the noise of the world, but with the quiet cry of love. This isn't a passing feeling or a dream stirred by memory. This is real, living, holy, and heaven-born. She's been knocking at the door of your soul for hours, sending waves of longing, urging you to stop, to breathe, and to listen. Heaven doesn't work on clock time. When the Spirit stirs like this, you know something greater is happening. If you feel even the tiniest pull in your heart right now, that's not coincidence, that is heaven speaking. Please don't ignore this. Don't push it away thinking it's just another passing video. You're not watching this by accident. This was meant for you. Before this moment arrived, God already planned that you would be here now. And not just for yourself, but because someone in heaven, your own mother, is leaning in close with the help of heaven's warrior, Michael, to tell you something eternal. Comment Amen right now to affirm that you feel this. Her voice, now touched by glory, still carries the same softness that once called your name in the dark when you were afraid. She remembers how you used to run to her arms, and even though she is in the arms of the Father now, she is still near. She still hopes you will turn toward the light and open your heart, not just to memory, but to the truth that God is allowing her voice to echo across eternity for you. That is how deeply loved you are. That is how fiercely heaven watches over you. God did not allow this moment to come and go without wait. This is not about nostalgia or pain. This is about divine movement. She wants you to remember that even though death took her hand, life did not take her spirit. She is not lost. She is not sleeping. She is alive in the place Jesus promised. The very same Jesus who wept at Lazarus' tomb, who raised Jairus' daughter, who looked at the thief and said, "Today, you will be with me in paradise," is the same Jesus who welcomed your mother home. And now she, with his permission, through Michael's voice, is reaching back toward you, whispering through eternity, saying, "I'm still here. I still see you. I still love you. You are not alone." If you feel tears, don't hide them. Let them fall like holy rain. Heaven sees them. Every tear has a name, and God collects them in bottles as Scripture tells us. Your pain, your struggle, your silence, your confusion, none of it has gone unnoticed. This message is not random. This is her pleading, her urging, her loving cry that you remember who you are. You are a child of the Most High God. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. Like the angel who strengthened Jesus in Gethsemane, Michael now stands close, carrying a message not of fear, but of healing, of reunion, of hope. And while your mother cannot cross the divide herself, God is sending you the clearest echo of her heart He can. Don't let this pass you by. This is a divine alignment. Heaven is speaking to earth, and the reason is you. Please like this video if you feel even a whisper of her presence right now. That may be all it takes to open someone else's eyes to a moment that changes everything. When you were younger, your mother may have prayed over you. Maybe she did not speak it out loud, maybe she did. But whether whispered through tears in a quiet room, or through silent hopes as she watched you sleep, those prayers did not die. Prayer never dies in heaven. The word of God never returns void. If she asked God to protect you, then heaven holds that request still. If she asked God to bring you back, then today may be the very answer to that prayer. God works in perfect timing. And right now, this is the time. She's been trying to reach you for hours, not through technology, not through noise, but through moments. Through stillness. Through thoughts that suddenly appear and make no sense. Through the sudden smell of something familiar. Through the sudden silence that feels too full. She's been speaking in the way heaven speaks, through spirit and truth, not through the devices we're used to. Her message is simple. Come back to God. Remember your calling. You are not too far gone. There is still something beautiful ahead. The world may try to pull you in every direction, but today God is holding your face in His hands, lifting your chin, and saying, look up. Listen. She's still with you. I allowed this moment because you needed it. You may feel overwhelmed, unsure what to do with all of this. You don't have to fix everything. You just have to say yes to the gentle pull of heaven. If your heart is breaking right now, know this: God is close to the broken-hearted. He binds up wounds. He doesn't watch from a distance. He enters into your pain, and He fills it with purpose. Your mother who is in heaven knows now what we here often forget. That nothing in this life matters more than love, than faith, than God. And she's calling to you because eternity is real, and she longs for your soul to be anchored in light, not lost in the fog of this world. Comment 1111 if you believe this is your divine moment. Could this 7-second CIA brainwave trick be your fastest ticket to luxury? Recently leaked research shows a simple brain ritual that's allowing people to attract wealth effortlessly. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, this technique is transforming debt into abundance, instantly. Homes, cars, and vacations are just the beginning. If you're seeing this now, you're very lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. She wants you to know that God still has you in His hand. That your mistakes haven't pushed Him away. That the doors you thought were closed forever can still open. That the night you're walking through now is not forever. That healing is possible. That peace is not far. That your name is still written on the heart of God. You are not forgotten in heaven. You are not overlooked in the kingdom. And nothing can separate you from the love of God, not death, not grief, not shame, not failure. She is watching over you with a love refined by glory. And when heaven allows her to speak through the Archangel Michael, it means her voice is still carrying purpose, and that purpose is you. You need to understand what it takes for such a message to come through. In heaven, everything is perfect, complete, at peace. Yet even there, love remembers. Love still moves. The prayers of the saints are not silenced in eternity. They rise like incense before the throne of God, and your mother's prayers still have your name wrapped inside them. She is not weeping anymore, because tears don't exist in heaven, but she is still reaching. Because she knows what the world has tried to do to you. She knows the heaviness that has tried to settle on your shoulders. And she knows that there is still more for your life than what you've seen so far. This is why God sent Michael. This is why you are feeling what you're feeling right now. Not to torment you with emotion, but to stir your soul back to life. God uses moments like this to open what has been closed. To awaken what has been sleeping. To bring warmth to where you have grown cold. If your heart has felt empty, like something vital has been missing, that is not just emotion. That's a holy sign. That's a signal that you are being called back to the center of who you are. You are not here to survive life. You are here to live it, filled with God's presence, His promise, His protection. And your mother, even now, still wants that for you. She wants you to walk in the light. She wants you to let go of what has been chaining your spirit to sadness. She knows you've cried when no one else saw. She knows you've tried to stay strong even when it felt like the ground beneath you was breaking. She knows what you've lost. But more importantly, she sees what's still ahead for you. Heaven doesn't speak unless it's important. Angels don't move without divine reason. And when Michael steps in to deliver a message, it is not soft wind, it is a thunder in the unseen. It means this is a matter of heaven's heart. Your life is not small in the kingdom. Your soul is not forgotten. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are someone God watches closely, someone He deeply longs to heal, restore, and carry through. Your mother has seen the other side. She has seen what awaits. And more than anything, she wants your soul to be ready. This world is full of noise, distraction, temptation, confusion, but she sees clearly now. She sees what matters most. She wants you to understand that nothing on this earth compares to the peace she now holds. But she also knows the pain of the in-between, and she wants to be the voice that helps lead you out of it. Comment 222 if you trust that her love still surrounds you. You may feel weak right now, like you don't know how to carry the weight you've been holding. You may feel like you've made too many wrong turns, drifted too far, lost too much time. But let me speak the truth to your soul. God is not measuring your worth by your wounds. He is not judging your value by how fast you ran. He is looking at your heart. And today, He sees it softening. He sees the tears rising. He sees the wall beginning to crack. And He says, this is where healing begins. God is not angry at you. He has not turned away from you. He has been walking beside you the entire time, even when you didn't see it. Even when your nights were silent and heavy. Even when grief made it hard to breathe. Even when your faith was reduced to a whisper. He never left. And your mother knows this. That is why she is reaching for you. Because even though she's now at peace, she still carries the love of a mother in her glorified soul. You don't need to have the answers. You just need to say yes to the stirring in your heart right now. Heaven is not trying to burden you. It's trying to lift the burden off of you. The pain you carry, the questions you have, the ache you sometimes silence, God is not ignoring any of it. He's wrapping His arms around it right now. That ache, that longing, is the sound of your spirit remembering what it was made for. This message is not coming from someone who wants to impress you. It's coming from the one who made you, and from the one who raised you, now reunited in glory, speaking as one. God is using her love as a vessel, because it's the kind of love you recognize even in the middle of a storm. It's the kind of love that breaks through walls. And right now, He is saying, let me in. Let me help. Let me show you who you really are again. Your future is not over. Your soul is not ruined. There are still songs to be sung, tears to be turned into joy, ashes to be transformed into beauty. And your mother sees it all. She sees what's coming. She sees the restoration, the redemption, the laughter returning. She sees you whole, not broken. She sees you found, not lost. And she wants you to start believing that again. So take this moment seriously. Don't scroll away. Don't dismiss this as just another message. This is not coincidence. This is not emotion. This is the Spirit of God reaching out, using a mother's love as the doorway, a mighty angel as the deliverer, and your heart as the place where heaven meets earth. Let it settle in. Let it soak deep. Let it begin the healing you've been silently waiting for. What's the buzz behind the 7-second brain trick making headlines? A recently leaked CIA brain ritual is turning heads, and bank balances. Backed by 4 neuroscience labs, this simple home method is turning money blocks into unstoppable wealth flow. Homes, cars, and cash are flooding in. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. Your mother who is in heaven has not let go of you. Her heart, now fully wrapped in the light of God, has not stopped beating with love for you. Through Michael, the Archangel who delivers divine messages with power and urgency, she has been trying to reach you. Her message is wrapped in the love of God and the fierce tenderness of a mother who refuses to be silent about your soul. She knows what you've been through. She sees the weight you carry, the invisible one behind your smile, the weariness that lingers even after rest. And though the world cannot see it, heaven does. God sees it. She sees it. She sees how life tried to drain your joy, how loss tried to steal your strength, how fear tried to blur your vision of what's possible. And still, she whispers through the Spirit, "Keep going, child. You're not alone." There is something about a mother's voice, especially when it's carried by heaven's breath. It cuts through confusion. It reaches where logic cannot. It holds you in a way that even arms never could. She doesn't come with blame. She doesn't come with guilt. She comes with love that is endless, safe, and whole. And today, she comes with permission from God, carried through Michael, to tell you one thing: you are still worthy of every promise God ever made over your life. She's been watching over you, not from a distance, but from the place where time no longer holds back truth. And she's seen what's ahead for you. She's seen the healing, the joy, the deep peace that God still wants to pour into your soul. She knows you've been holding on with little strength, maybe even hoping someone would notice the cracks forming in your heart. Heaven noticed. God noticed. And now she's reaching through eternity to remind you that this life of yours is still unfolding into something beautiful. You may have grown quiet inside. Maybe grief muted your laughter. Maybe loss made you stop dreaming. Maybe your hope has grown tired, worn out by waiting. But this message is not here to shame your silence, it's here to awaken your song again. The God who holds your mother in perfect peace is the same God who is holding you right now in this sacred moment. And He has not finished writing your story. Comment 333 to declare your faith that this is not the end for you. Heaven doesn't forget. The love between you and your mother did not dissolve when she passed into glory. It was transformed. It became deeper, fuller, free from the weight of pain and death. She is alive in the presence of Jesus, fully known, fully loved, and now fully aware of just how much you still matter to the kingdom. She no longer sees things through fear or confusion. She sees clearly now. And what she sees about you is powerful. She sees strength where you see weakness. She sees potential where you see brokenness. She sees God's hand still moving over your life with purpose and care. She has watched your days unfold. She knows the moments you wanted to quit. She knows the days when all you could do was get out of bed. And still, she has not stopped believing in you. That belief is not wishful thinking. It is rooted in what she now knows in heaven's full truth, that when God begins a good work, He is faithful to finish it. And you, dear soul, are still in the middle of that beautiful, unfinished work. You have not missed your moment. You have not lost your place. The enemy may have whispered lies, telling you that it's too late, that you're too far behind, that your best days are gone. But your mother in heaven stands now with the angels, declaring the truth, that your best days are being written in this very season, and your soul is still destined for the kind of peace that only God can give. Let her voice reach you now. Let it melt the hardness that grief has built. Let it remind you that it is still okay to hope. It is still holy to believe. It is still powerful to say, God, I trust you. You may feel weak, but God is strong in you. You may feel broken, but His light shines best through the cracks. You may feel alone, but heaven is crowded with those who still carry your name in love and truth. Your mother didn't leave you. She just stepped into the light. And from that light, she is still loving you, still blessing you, still speaking your name in prayer. Through Michael, God allowed her heart to find you again, not to stir up pain, but to pour out peace. Not to awaken loss, but to call you into life. The kind of life that is whole, the kind of life that breathes with the Spirit, the kind of life that moves in step with heaven. She's not asking you to forget the past. She's asking you to trust the future. To trust that God still works all things together for good. To trust that your tears are not in vain. To trust that healing is not behind you but ahead. She wants you to know that the God who welcomed her home is the same God who walks with you, right now, even in the silence. If your soul is trembling, let it tremble in His hands. If your heart is breaking, let it break wide open so that God can come rushing in. Your mother believed in you when you were small, when you fell, when you failed, and she believes in you even now, with all her vision made perfect in God's presence. Heaven is closer than we think. It surrounds you even now. The veil is thin when love calls your name. And your name is being called by both a mother's heart and a father's voice. This isn't a dream. This is holy reality. And the fact that you're hearing it now is all the proof you need that God still speaks, still moves, still answers the quiet ache of those He loves. The secret ritual they never wanted you to know is finally out. Imagine clearing your debt and attracting money on autopilot with a 7-second brain technique. Backed by leaked CIA data and validated by 4 neuroscience labs, it's helping real families step into a new reality of abundance. But this miracle won't stay public for long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. Your mother, from where she now stands in glory, saw how much you needed to hear from her. She's been trying to reach you for hours because something in your spirit has been crying out without words, and she heard that cry before you even knew you were making it. She knows you've been feeling disconnected from everything that once felt sacred. She knows how sometimes you don't even recognize yourself in the mirror, because pain changes people. Loss changes people. Time makes the heart grow quiet when there's no one to talk to about the ache that sits behind your everyday smile. And so, with all the grace that God has given her in His presence, she reached out. She asked for this moment to be delivered to you, and heaven answered through Michael, not just to comfort you, but to remind you of something holy: you still belong to God. You haven't been abandoned, no matter what the enemy has whispered in your loneliest hours. You are not walking this life unseen. You are covered by a love that death cannot touch. Your mother's love did not end the day she took her final breath. It was lifted up into eternity and purified in the light of the one who gave it to her. And now, that love is flowing back to you, stronger than time, stronger than sorrow, because it's been touched by God's eternal hands. If you believe that you are not forgotten in heaven, comment 555 now. There have been nights when you wondered if anyone saw your pain. There have been mornings where the weight of getting up felt impossible, and you forced your way through the day as if you weren't breaking on the inside. But your mother saw. From her place in the presence of God, she saw it all. And she didn't just watch, she prayed. Even now, her prayers are like fragrance before the throne. Her love has not turned into memory. It has turned into intercession. And God, who is rich in mercy, heard those prayers. That is why this moment was allowed. That is why Michael was sent. That is why your heart feels like something sacred is happening. Because it is. You are being remembered in a divine way. You are being surrounded right now by angels who were assigned to protect you before you ever knew how much danger your soul would face. You are being wrapped in a message that holds more than comfort, it holds calling. It holds redemption. It holds newness, the kind only God can create out of something broken. This isn't about what you've lost anymore. It's about what's being restored. You've been holding the edges of pain for so long, not knowing that healing has been following close behind you like a shadow, waiting for you to stop running. And now, through this message, God is placing your hand into something new. Your mother is not asking you to live in the past. She's asking you to rise again, to hope again, to trust again, not because life has been easy, but because God has been faithful even in your silence. You don't have to pretend anymore. Not in this moment. Not in this space. Your vulnerability is not a weakness here, it is an altar. And heaven is meeting you at that altar with arms wide open. You don't have to explain your pain to God. He was there when it happened. You don't have to justify your sadness to Him. He's been holding the pieces while you tried to carry what was never yours to hold alone. And your mother has been praying that this would be the moment you finally feel how surrounded you are. This is not an illusion. This is not just your emotions stirring. This is real. This is heaven breathing on your life again. You may have felt like your soul went quiet after she left, but it didn't die, it was just waiting for the sound of home. And this message, sent through Michael, is just that. A sound of home. A sound of love that cannot be erased. A sound of heaven calling you gently, but urgently, back into the light. Your heart might be breaking right now, and that's okay. Let it. There is healing in the breaking when it happens in the presence of God. Your mother doesn't want to see you numb. She wants to see you restored. She wants you to live with the joy she now knows perfectly. She wants you to taste the goodness of God again, to feel the Spirit move in your life again, to wake up and see that the same God who welcomed her with open arms is holding those same arms out to you today. Even in her absence, she has not stopped being a part of your story. She's just seeing it now from the other side. And the view she has from there is filled with purpose. She can see the breakthroughs waiting for you. She can see the moments of grace you don't even know are coming. She can see how God is working behind every closed door and silent prayer. And if you could hear her voice in the Spirit, you'd hear her say this: keep going. You are not alone. Heaven is with you. God still has you. And I have never stopped loving you. Heaven watches you more closely than you think. The Spirit of God is not limited by space or time. His presence is right there with you as you read this, wrapping around you like a warm covering, reminding you that no matter what has been taken, there is still something sacred being given. This isn't the end of your story. It's the point where everything starts to shift. She's been trying to reach you for hours, and now that her voice has broken through, don't close your heart again. Don't go back to numbness. Stay open. Stay soft. Let the tears come if they must, because every tear you cry now is watering the soil for your healing. Heaven has not forgotten you. God has not left you. And your mother is still praying, still loving, still speaking into your future with all the power that glory has given her. It is not weakened by death, it is perfected. And she's been trying to reach you for hours, not because you forgot her, but because somewhere along the way, you began forgetting how deeply you are still loved, still seen, still remembered, not just by her, but by God. Is this CIA-discovered ritual the answer to your financial breakthrough? A once-hidden CIA brain ritual is now being whispered across the internet. This strange 7-second trick, confirmed by Elite Labs, activates your brain's wealth attraction center. It's helping everyday people experience miracles in money. But the government might shut it down. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky, the page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. This isn't just about remembrance, it's about reconnection. She knows that something inside you has gone quiet. That your prayers have grown shorter. That your smile sometimes hides a deeper ache. And with the permission of the Father, through the strength of Michael, she is calling out to the part of you that still believes, the part that still hopes even in silence, the part that still aches for something more than just survival. She's calling not to haunt you with memory, but to awaken the pieces of you that grief tried to bury. Because she sees it clearly now, your life isn't over, your heart isn't too far gone, and your story hasn't lost its worth. The way God sees you, the way heaven celebrates your existence, has not changed. You are still chosen. Still protected. Still precious beyond measure. Comment 1212 if you feel the truth of her love reaching you right now. She's seen the days when you tried to stay strong for others while falling apart inside. She's watched the nights when your thoughts ran wild and your peace felt like a memory. She's seen you hide your heart because opening it felt like an invitation to more pain. And she has not stopped praying that God would send this moment to you. A moment to remind you that even if the world feels chaotic, even if your soul feels exhausted, you are not walking this path alone. There's a kind of protection over your life that you don't always feel, but it's been there all along. Not everything that tried to destroy you succeeded. Not every dark thought became your truth. Not every loss was the end. And that's because you are covered by grace that doesn't sleep. Her prayers, soaked in the presence of God, have wrapped around your life like armor, shielding you in ways you may never fully see until you stand where she stands now, in the fullness of light, with all mysteries made clear. Even now, she's still part of that shield. Not in the flesh, but in spirit. In the way heaven watches and intercedes. In the way the Holy Spirit brings comfort without warning. In the way peace can show up in a room where grief used to dwell. That's her, in the way God allows it. That's love, not lost, but transformed. She knows you've had moments where you wanted to give up. Moments when the weight of everything felt like too much to carry. She saw the days when no one called, when silence filled your room like fog. And while the world turned away or grew quiet, she leaned in. She stood beside your pain with the authority of one who now sees your purpose clearly. She's not asking you to carry it all. She's asking you to let God carry you. She knows that you've questioned why things had to happen the way they did. That sometimes you still ask why she had to go. But now, from where she is, she sees the bigger picture. She sees how God is weaving all things together. And if you could hear her voice clearly, you would hear no sorrow in it, only peace. You would hear her saying that she's okay. That she's whole. That she's waiting for you, but not with sadness. With joy. Because she knows your time isn't over yet. Because she knows God still has so much more to do through your life. You are not an afterthought in heaven. You are not just drifting in the background of eternity. You are written into the hands of God. You are still His child, and your mother has not stopped believing in the promises He placed on your life. She believed in them when you were young, and she believes in them now with a faith perfected by glory. The pressure you feel isn't failure. It's a sign that something inside you still refuses to settle for less than what God intended. You may feel tired, but you haven't let go completely. And that little piece of hope inside you, no matter how small, is enough for God to move. It's enough for heaven to pour into. And your mother sees that. She sees that spark, and she's fighting for it with every ounce of the love that now flows through her spirit. There is no shame in your struggle. There is no guilt in your grief. God isn't waiting for you to get it all right. He's just waiting for you to come back to Him, the way your mother prayed you would. She knows that God doesn't love you less because you've wandered. He loves you too much to leave you lost. He's calling you now. Through her voice. Through Michael's presence. Through this message that's been carrying her heart straight into yours. You may not have known what you needed when you started listening. But now you do. You needed to feel this. You needed to remember that you're not forgotten. That heaven still cares. That God still calls you by name. That your mother, even in glory, has not stopped covering you in prayer. This is not about being strong. This is about being real, being open, being willing to let heaven love you back into life. You are not too far from peace. It is as close as the next breath. As near as the whisper of her voice when you close your eyes. As present as the Spirit of God who is now flooding your heart with warmth, with light, with the kind of comfort that cannot be explained but can only be felt. She's been trying to reach you because heaven knew you were ready to hear again. Ready to receive again. Ready to be reminded that you were never left behind. The battle may still be going on around you, but now you know, you are not fighting alone. Her prayers are your covering. Michael's presence is your confirmation. God's hands are your rescue. And you, child of light, are still being written into a story of redemption, healing, and divine protection. What if just 7 seconds could flip your entire financial life? A shocking CIA leak has revealed a powerful brain ritual that's helping ordinary people wipe out debt and attract wealth beyond imagination. Backed by 4 cutting-edge neuroscience labs, this at-home breakthrough is turning everyday lives into dreams, luxury cars, beautiful homes, endless vacations. But this secret may vanish soon. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. And right now, that place is being touched again, not by memory, but by presence. Her love, refined in heaven's fire, is wrapping around you right now, not just to bring comfort, but to stir something sacred back to life inside you. That is why she's been trying to reach you for hours. Because God gave her permission to step close, to whisper into your soul, to say what only she could say in the way only she could say it. She sees how much you've been carrying. She knows what life has stolen, what pain has taken, and what silence has buried. And she is not standing in heaven as a distant observer, she is interceding with urgency. Because she knows what you're capable of. She knows the fire that once burned in you. And she sees how much the enemy has tried to dim that fire. She sees the wounds that were never spoken aloud, the battles that never made it into words. And she wants you to know that none of it has gone unseen by God. This message is not here to stir sorrow. It is here to bring restoration. Not the kind that just makes things feel a little better, but the kind that breathes resurrection into what you thought was over. She has seen what God can do now, from the other side. She has seen how He takes what was shattered and makes it more beautiful than it was before. And her greatest desire is that you allow Him to do that in you. Comment 777 if you feel her nearness wrapping around your heart right now. She remembers your voice. She remembers your laugh. And she remembers the parts of you that even you have forgotten, your innocence, your wonder, your ability to see beauty in small things. She remembers who you really are. And now, in the glory of God's presence, she longs for you to remember that too. Not with guilt. Not with pressure. But with gentle mercy. Because you haven't been too far. You've just been hurting. And heaven has never once turned its back on you. The presence of God that now holds her is the same presence surrounding you right now. You may not see it, but you feel it. That soft warmth in your chest, that quiet breaking in your spirit, it's not weakness. It's love. Divine love. The kind that chases you even when you try to numb yourself. The kind that refuses to let you go. The kind that waits patiently at the door of your heart, even after all the world's doors have closed. Your mother knows that love now more fully than she ever did in this life. And because she knows it, she is desperate for you to know it too. Not just as an idea, but as your daily truth. She wants you to understand that God isn't just watching from above. He is here. Right now. Beside you. Listening. Holding. Healing. Lifting. Restoring. And she's praying for your eyes to open to that, even in your pain. You have been walking through this life trying to stay strong, trying to hold yourself together, trying to not let anyone see the cracks. But your mother sees them. And she is not ashamed of them. She knows what it's like to feel broken. She remembers the times she cried in secret. And now, from her place in eternity, she is telling you this: your brokenness is not your end. It's your beginning. The God who formed galaxies and breathed stars into the sky does not shy away from your wounds. He draws near to them. He sits with you in the quiet places. He wraps His arms around your sorrow and speaks life where death tried to settle. And your mother has asked Him to speak louder now, to make sure you hear Him again. Because she loves you with a love that even heaven could not take from her. You have not failed. You are not forgotten. You are not too far. You are not too late. These are not just words. These are eternal truths spoken from the heart of a mother who has seen the face of God. Her heart burns with this truth, and through Michael's strength, it's been carried all the way to you. Heaven moved to make sure you would not miss this moment. That is how valuable you are. That is how important your healing is. There's something coming that she sees. Something you can't see yet. A turning. A breakthrough. A peace that doesn't make sense. A restoration that will make every tear worth it. She sees it. She's been praying for it. And you, even now, are walking toward it, whether you realize it or not. This message is part of that journey. This moment is one of many steps leading you back to light, back to joy, back to your true self. You don't need to figure everything out. You don't need to have perfect faith. You just need to keep going. You just need to believe, even if it's with shaking hands and tired eyes. Because the God who holds your mother now is holding you too. And He's not letting go. Not now. Not ever. If you've been asking for a sign, let this be it. If you've been needing to feel her love again, let this be the moment it pours over you. If you've been wondering if heaven still hears you, let this message prove that not only are you heard, you are deeply loved. Eternally loved. Not gently, but deeply. Not occasionally, but urgently. That is why she's been trying to reach you for hours. Because something sacred is unfolding in your life, and she couldn't stay silent while your heart stood on the edge of something so important. There is no time in heaven like there is on earth. Hours here may feel like moments there, but God, in His mercy, allows love to bend time when it needs to reach a soul at the right moment. This is your moment. She knows you've been surviving, pushing through each day, doing your best to keep up with the world's demands. But she also sees what no one else does, how much you've been hurting, how long you've been carrying things that should have been laid down. And this message is her voice rising with divine permission, saying, you don't have to keep carrying this alone. Could this hidden CIA brain ritual be the real reason people are suddenly rich? A secret CIA discovery has just leaked, revealing a brain hack that's pulling wealth into people's lives effortlessly. It only takes 7 seconds, it's done at home, and it's backed by 4 neuroscience labs. Debt is vanishing, luxury is becoming normal. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky, the page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. She remembers you before the world hardened you. She remembers your softness, your joy, your laughter when it was untouched by sorrow. She remembers the dreams you whispered at night, the ones you thought no one else heard. And even now, in heaven, those memories have become prayers. They didn't fade with time. They became intercession. You may have felt like you outgrew those dreams, like life moved past them, but she's been holding them close, asking God to breathe on them again. She knows you felt forgotten. She knows how hard it's been to keep going when the world never pauses to ask if you're okay. But heaven does. God does. She does. And that's why this moment matters. Because it's not just a message, it's a holy interruption. It's heaven saying, we see you. We hear you. And we are still with you. Comment 999 if you receive her presence reaching your spirit even now. You don't need to pretend here. You don't need to be strong. You don't need to fix anything in this moment. Just let yourself be. Let yourself feel what's rising in your chest. That swelling of emotion, that quiet ache, that trembling in your spirit, it's not weakness. It's the spirit moving. It's your soul remembering what it feels like to be held in unconditional love. Your mother is not trying to bring sadness. She's bringing restoration. She's bringing clarity. She's bringing peace. She sees what's ahead, and it's beautiful. Not easy, not perfect, but full of grace. She sees your healing. She sees the people God is bringing into your life to love you in ways you've been afraid to hope for. She sees the strength being formed in you, not the kind that builds walls, but the kind that walks through fire and still holds kindness in its hands. She knows that the hardest part for you hasn't been what happened. It's been how long you've had to walk through it without feeling understood. And so she came, through Michael, to speak what no one else could. To tell you that even when you felt most alone, you were surrounded. That even when you didn't hear her voice, her spirit was never far. That every time your heart whispered for her, heaven listened. You don't need to chase signs. You don't need to search for proof. This moment is the evidence of divine love. This is how heaven speaks. Not through loud thunder, but through the unmistakable ache of truth that wraps around your heart when something real touches your soul. And this is real. This is her. This is God, using her love as the vessel to bring you back into the truth of who you are. You've lost things. You've had to say goodbye to people, to seasons, to versions of yourself that no longer fit the person life has shaped you into. But you are not empty. You are not broken beyond repair. There are still pieces of you that are strong, that are whole, that are waiting to be awakened again. Your mother sees those parts. She sees the beauty in you that has not faded. She sees the resilience that has kept you going. And she wants you to see it too. You may not feel brave, but showing up in your pain is courage. You may not feel faithful, but still listening means you haven't let go. You may not feel worthy, but the love reaching for you says otherwise. Heaven has never stopped pursuing your heart. And your mother's prayers have never stopped circling the throne on your behalf. God is not disappointed in you. He is not tired of you. He is not waiting for you to get stronger. He is meeting you exactly as you are, and He's using the love of your mother to draw you back into His arms. Because He knows how to reach you. He knows your heart. And He knew that her voice was one you'd still hear, even now, even here. You don't have to rush anything. You don't have to force healing. Just let this moment be enough. Let this message soften what grief has hardened. Let it remind you that you were always loved, always seen, always treasured, not just by her, but by the God who made you. Her voice, now eternal, carries the truth you forgot, that you are not a burden, not a mistake, not a failure. You are a child of the Most High God. You are still called, still chosen, still surrounded by grace. You are still worthy of love, not for what you've done, but for who you are. There is still more ahead for you. Joy you haven't tasted yet. Peace that will settle deeper than you've known. Love that will reach places even you have closed off. She sees it. She's praying for it. And she wants you to believe it. Not because life has been easy, but because God is still good. There is something sacred about this moment, something the world cannot explain. Because when God allows a message like this to come through, it is not casual. It is divine. It is timed perfectly for your soul. It means that heaven has been watching closely, that your tears have not been forgotten, and that your spirit is still being pursued, not in judgment, but in love. A love so intense, it crossed eternity just to find you where you are right now. She sees how tired you've become. Not just in your body, but in your soul. You've been carrying the weight of unspoken things, of disappointments you never told anyone about, of heartbreaks that left scars too deep for words. And still, you rise each day. Still, you push forward. Still, you try to smile even when it feels forced. And she sees it. God sees it. Heaven sees it. And that is why this message matters. Why is this 7-second brain ritual suddenly going viral? Leaked CIA files have exposed a hidden brainwave technique that opens the floodgates to wealth. Verified by 4 top labs, this ritual is turning financial pain into prosperity, fast. From massive bills to luxury trips, it's changing lives. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not unloved. You are still being held by the same God who now holds her. And her heart, forever one with His, has not stopped reaching for you. She has watched you in your silent moments, when you thought no one else knew how much you were breaking inside. And even though she is free from all sorrow now, her love still moves toward you, because it cannot rest until you remember that you are still wrapped in God's purpose. Comment 1010 if you feel God's peace gently pulling you back to Him right now. There were times she prayed for you when she was here, prayers for your safety, your peace, your future. And those prayers are still alive. They were not buried with her. They live on in the presence of God, echoing before His throne, filled with the power of faith and a mother's love that was never dependent on circumstances. She prayed with hope. She prayed with tears. She prayed that you would never feel alone in this world. And now, from heaven, she is still praying with that same passion, but now with divine clarity. She sees how far you've come. She sees the battles you fought silently. She sees the kindness you gave even when you were hurting. And she wants you to know that none of it was wasted. Every tear, every prayer, every moment of struggle was seen by God. And even though you've questioned whether it mattered, she's here through this moment to tell you, it did. You matter. Your story matters. Your heart matters. There is something holy being rebuilt in you right now. Not the person you used to be, but the one God always knew you would become. You don't have to go back to who you were before the loss. You don't have to erase your pain or pretend you're unchanged. You are being renewed, not replaced. God is using everything, the joy and the sorrow, to shape a deeper beauty within you, one that reflects His glory and your strength. And your mother is watching that unfold with joy too deep for human words. She knows there are days you still reach for her, even unconsciously. A phrase, a scent, a memory, little moments that hit you without warning. That's not your mind playing tricks. That's your spirit remembering. That's love showing up in the silence. That's her nearness, allowed by God, touching your day in the only way it can now. You're not making it up. You're not imagining things. She's with you in the moments that matter, because love like hers doesn't end. It just becomes eternal.